What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Big Game Podcast. Today, we got a good one. We got a real good one, real spicy one. It's a official going at parents at a youth basketball game. I'd like to say that this is a unique scenario, but man, it happens all the time, not just in basketball, but all over the place. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so before we get into it, let me give a little bit of context on what's going on. It's a youth basketball game. Apparently, the ref doesn't like the call. Some parents start chirping, and the ref handles it a certain way. So I'm going to just play it through right now. I'm going to try not to stop it, but I'm going to play it through. Let's watch the whole thing, and then let's dissect it. And then I got a couple of ideas on how to avoid these situations. Okay, a couple of action items for all you rec leaders, coaches, trainers, club team, refs. Doesn't matter. You're going to benefit from this. Let's check it out. Double time, and he's out. Look at that kid right there. Okay, parents are chirping back. Oh, he ain't taking no type of mess. I think it's like multiple parents chirping right now. Oh, that's gonna be an empty gym.
I was just watching James and then...
Oh my gosh. I don't know if that was the coaches or the parents only. Ref ejects parents during youth game, so it's the parents, right? One parent, but I wonder if any coaches. I mean, it looks like it's in a school gym with the stage right there. Okay, he's talking to a couple of the coaches, I think, right now. All right, let's pause right there. Whoa. Okay, some serious business going on. Serious business. Okay, so I don't have the context for what happened beforehand. All I know is that the play stopped. The ref goes over to the coach's sideline, and also I guess the parents are sitting right behind the coaches, which is never a good thing. I hate when parents are sitting behind coaches, like directly behind. We're not talking about a little bit of a buffer zone, like a track or anything like that, but like directly right there, chirping, saying, oh, why did coach do this? That's like the worst thing right there in terms of parent coach player interaction. It's not the best. So that's number one. I don't like that type of situation. I'm going to talk about this later on, so make sure you watch to the end. But how do you avoid these situations? Well, number one, there's a breakdown in culture. There's a breakdown in responsibilities, and there's a breakdown in understanding what is expected of you as a parent, as an official, and potentially as a coach. I didn't hear too much from the coaches unless the coaches were chirping in. So let's break this down. Let's go into it a little bit. All right. So number one, he's approaching the sideline. We're going to hear what he says really quick. We're going to pause it a couple of times. Okay, boom, first tee, teed him up. So this guy right here, he's not the coach apparently. He is a parent, and he is fired up. He's angry. He's ready to blow. He's ready to go and toss the ref out. That's how angry he is. But the ref ain't playing none of that, okay? So he tees him up, one tee. Okay, now we don't need that. Number one, this should have never happened. You shouldn't be yelling at the ref at your 13-year-old's basketball game. What are they playing for? Nothing, just for fun. This is ridiculous. Okay, we got to stop this. All right, because now you're not just embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing your kid. Oh, do you remember how Timmy's dad was popping off at the game? We were down by 20 in a game no one remembers. That's not the answer. That's not the way, man. So that's number one. Number two, things got so heated to where the ref felt he had to come over and give him a tee. I don't know what led up to this. I wish there was more context on this. If somebody could find it, please let me know. But if it had to get to this point where the ref is handing out tease to parents, not players, not coaches, parents, then something went wrong in the culture building for this specific sports program. Now, let me get into this a little bit. When you build a sports program, there are multiple layers you're going to have to address, multiple areas of the whole sports experience that you're going to have to address. And one of them is how parents interact with the game. And if you don't set clear expectations and instructions on, how to enjoy their child's game, things can go awry very, very fast. And so let me bring the full camera up here. One of the most important things that you can do when building a good sports program is make sure that parents, players, and coaches understand what is required of them, their duties and their responsibilities, the things that you want them to do during game day. As a rule, we want to make sure that we're creating an environment where parents, players, coaches are having a harmonious, as much as you can. Look, competition, we get fired up sometimes. Sometimes we want to pop off. I get it. I'm a coach. I was a player. I'm a little old now, but I get it. But does that lead to the best outcomes for the game? Obviously not for this parent. He got thrown out. Now he can't watch his kid's game. Maybe he was working all week long, and now, guess what? The thing that he came to enjoy, he's gone. So was it worth it? I don't think so. But I think there was a breakdown in the organization of making sure that your parents understand their duties and responsibilities and understanding what is required of them. Basically, SOPs, a strategic operating procedure, giving it to the parents and setting the culture early. So obviously this wasn't happening. Okay, I don't want to harp on it too much, and I don't want to beat up on this guy. It happens. We get heated. I've had my fits as a coach, fits as a player. I'm a new parent, so I get it. But I've also been an official. So I've played both roles, played all three roles, really. And so we got to keep cool heads in this. Well, let's continue. Let's go back to this. Okay, that's the double T. Was that really necessary? Was that really necessary? Throwing two hands in the air real hard, real aggressive, and then pointing out and saying, "You out. You done, son." I don't think it was necessary. But was it funny? It was funny. Let's get back into it. Okay, so now we have parents screaming in the background, "Go Blue," talking about the team. Okay, that's cool. We'll have to rewind it back, or play it again. The kid in the blue right before, you see him just throwing up his head and just, I don't know, smiling or saying, "Oh man, there goes dad again," if that's his dad. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of funny. All right. So he's walking away. Okay. So telling him he's out. He's got to go. And then I think another parent chimes up and says, "What was that?" Screaming at the ref. That ain't going to go over well. That's never going to work, especially with the ref who's about his business. Okay, he's standing on business. That's not going to work. So you got the wrong approach. And first of all, you shouldn't even be yelling at the ref. You just seen what he did with this parent. What do you think he's going to do with you? Number one, if you don't want to leave, okay, that's cool. You don't have to leave, but the game is going to stop. The refs have the power to do that. Okay, it gets too out of hand, too out of pocket. People are losing their tempers. People are losing their cools. They don't know how to act. We're just going to stop the game. Is that what you want? I don't think so. I didn't really hear that. I didn't catch that part, but there's some lady chirping up now. Okay. Now, ultimatums. Man, tensions are flaring, man. I feel like this could have been handled a totally different way. Keeping your composure as an official is key. Look, I get it. There are some players, parents, and coaches that can get very abrasive, and you're just trying to do your job. You're trying to handle the pace of the game. You're trying to make sure that no one gets hurt. You're trying to make sure that no one's fighting. Tempers don't get flared. You're trying to control it. It's hard. It's not easy, and mistakes can be made. But this right here, I don't know if this is the best way to respond to angry parents. Again, culture is so important. If you don't do the work in the beginning, you're going to struggle towards the middle and the end of a season. So That's why we have to lay the groundwork, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later, because that's the key step in this. If you don't want to have these types of situations as a league, as an official, as a rec leader, you got to do the groundwork, not just at the beginning, but also in the middle and towards the end. You got to really develop your positive sports culture, okay? We would have a parent-player contract to go over guidelines on, how to act for parents, players, and coaches. I don't want to harp on that too much, but again, that's the key right here. He's antagonizing a little bit. Hey, you want to go out too? You want to be gone? Oh boy. I don't know if this is the best thing to do. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see what he has to say. Oh. Ooh, don't tell me to actually ref the game. I just threw your partner out. You think that that's going to help the situation? You think that's going to help me calm down by telling me go ref the game? Are you nuts? Have you lost your mind? Bro, I'm about to throw you, your mama, your kid, your dog, everybody out. I'm throwing everybody out. Okay, that's his energy, not my energy. I would have tried to have approached it in a different way. And trust me, I've been in those dicey situations where you have parents yelling at you, yelling at me when I'm doing my best to officiate the game and only getting paid like $10 an hour. Come on, dog. Like, it's not even worth it. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back into this. Oh, snap. There you go. There you go. See? We got to let cooler heads prevail and ask yourself, is this helping my child's game? Because now, little Timmy just wanted to play basketball. And really, the biggest thing he wanted was a snack at the end of the game. He wanted to just have fun, hang out with his friends. He didn't even touch the ball. But you got parents popping off like this. To harp on this a little bit, there is something very wrong with youth sports culture in America. I don't know how it is in other countries. I could just speak to the American youth sports experience. We treat youth sports like professional games. We heckling, we yelling, we cursing out the ref. For what? For a YMCA 12U game? What? What are you talking about? But it happens so much. And why? Again, culture. It's not just educating the kids that we have to do a good job of. It's not just, going through all the trainings for the coaches. And coaches have a lot of trainings today, more so than ever before. Going through safe sport training, going through how to coach kids training, going through all these types of trainings. But do we actually train the parents? Some leagues do a great job of this. Believe me, some leagues do a great job, and they nip any potential bad behavior or bad interactions in the butt, and they try and work with all three collaborators, parents, coaches, and players, to get a really harmonious season to where we're all working together. Again, problems are going to occur, but it's the way you deal with them which is going to result in good or bad, situations. I just recall the times that I've run leagues. I've run some leagues not so good, and I've run some leagues very well. The leagues that I've run not so well is I maybe would have encouraged parents at the beginning, this is how we're supposed to be, but that was it. I didn't encourage them towards the middle, towards the end, or anything like that. It wasn't a continuous flow. And I really didn't understand that I'm not just over here trying to train and educate my parents and my coaches and my players, but I also have to educate my parents. And hopefully, if we do our job right, everyone will be on the same page. We know what to expect. We know how to conduct ourselves. And, we can't control the people that are coming from outside our system. We got to continue to work with them and, set up our bubble. But this, you can see it all over. If you've been in the rec space, you know that something happened and it was bad. And it's not probably the first time. If people are popping off like this is not the first time. This is like the second, third, fourth, fifth time. This is the culture. And a lot of reps don't want to rep no more because this is the culture. Like, I'm just telling you straight up. I'm just being honest. Why would I want to ref these types of games? $10 an hour. No, it's not $10 an hour. Like, reps get paid now. You know what I mean? Reps get paid. But why would I want to spend my Saturday doing multiple games, getting yelled at, cursed out, threatened, shot at, Yeah, it's happened. Refs have been shot at, punched out for a 12-year-old YMCA game. I don't know if it's YMCA. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, this is so ridiculous. But this is what happens. This is the sports culture in a lot of places. So it takes great men and great women, rec leaders, parents, coaches, refs, to all work together to create a positive sports environment so that the kids can just play. Like, if you ever find yourself struggling to figure out whether or not this is a justified action, ask yourself, does this benefit or hurt the kids? I don't know if it's really benefiting the kids right now. Oh, come on. But go leave then. Take a kid. You're not hurting me. I'm still getting paid. Come on. Oh, now see again. Now he's telling them to shut up. It's uncalled for. We don't need that. Again, he's heated. The parents are heated. Everybody's heated. Now, finally, someone comes, maybe the director of the sports league, maybe a coach, and says, hey, Chuck, Bob, Henry, whatever the hell his name is. Sorry, excuse my French. Whatever his name is. Come on, calm down. That should have happened in the beginning. Like, someone should be talking to the parents. Like, parents shouldn't be popping off like that. Again, culture, SOPs, okay, guidelines, rules, expectations, okay, how do we conduct ourselves? Someone should have went up to that parent and said, hey, Larry, whatever his name is, let's calm down. We don't need to be yelling like that. That's not what we do here, okay? If you have a grievance, we have a process. You want to file that grievance, go ahead and conduct an email. You can file it on our site if we have that set up, and then go ahead and submit it to our league director. We'll go ahead and review it and try and make some quick actions, okay? But if you don't have that set up, this is what happens. It's not fun.
Got her on camera here. I was just watching James and then...
Okay, so they're just talking about something else. I don't know what they're talking about. Now the ref is back on the court. He's just walking. I think the situation has calmed down. I think he's still talking to somebody. Oh, I think it's the coach now. Okay. Whew. Let's whoa. Okay. Lots and lots of takeaways here. Number one, if you don't have a good sports culture, a good league culture, these are the types of problems you're going to encounter. You're going to encounter people just, feeling the freedom to pop off to the refs. This is not an NBA game. Even NBA games, NFL games, they are, tightening the rope on that. I don't know if that's the right analogy. Count me out in the comments. They're pausing that. They're pumping the brakes on that, I feel like Russell Westbrook was the cause of a lot of fans getting kicked out of games because, you come inappropriate, you start calling him out of his name. Okay, you got to go. Now, that's one thing. But, going hard at a ref during a rec game that has no high stakes, like if it's unsafe, that's one thing. Like people are playing tackle football where they're playing basketball. That's one thing. Like if the coach is not going to step up, we got to go to coach, be like, hold on, coach, during timeout. Hey, can you talk to the ref? And if he don't want to do it, be like, okay, you know what? This is unsafe. I need to take some courage and I need to just go, all right, hey, look, if you're not going to handle this situation, I got to take my son. I got to take my daughter because I'm not trying to have them get hurt. The game is not being called the right way. It's unsafe. Now, what is unsafe? Parents will always say it's unsafe, depending on what it is, right? But there are really some games that are unsafe. And if your coach is not going to do something about it, then you have to do the uncomfortable thing and maybe during the dead ball, hey, John, come here. You're going to sit this one out, okay? Just tell coach, hey, we're not going to do this, all right? Because we're trying to make sure that you have a good sports experience. You're not trying to get cracked or anything like that. That's one thing, okay? it doesn't seem like that's what's going on here. Again, I need the full context to, say yes or no, it's safe or not. But that culture, again, is so important, because then we know how to address these types of situations. If you see unsafe play, okay, call it out, file your grievance, things like that. Talk to your coach. Like, can we talk, please? That's one rule that I instituted during our parent-player orientations is like, look, if you have a challenge or if you're concerned about something, let's chat after the game, or like if it's really heated, take 24 hours. Don't talk to me for 24 hours. Okay? Don't start shouting during the game. Don't start like berating me. Like, can we have a real conversation? Like, just relax. Like, if it's not even a safety thing and it's just more of like a playtime thing, okay, well, let's address those concerns. We're not perfect, by the way. Like, I need you to know that. Like, coaches are not perfect. We make mistakes all the time. And if you have a volunteer coach and you have a minimum salary staff, what are you expecting? Professional results? No, we strive to be, some of us strive to be the best we can be, but that's just not the reality of youth sports. You have to have some grace. We have grace with you and your kids sometimes. Your kids be running their mouth sometimes in practice, okay? Not listening. And we got to deal with a lot. We got to be real patient, and some of us do a better job than others. I'll give you that. And again, I've been a coach, I've been an official, I've been a player, and now I'm a parent. I've seen it for all 4 angles. I've been a director, 5 angles, right? I've been a club manager. I've been a rec director. I've run summer camps. I've run summer leagues, basketball, football, soccer, lacrosse, volleyball, you name it. I've done it, except for like racquetball or pickleball. I haven't done that. Pickleball's taking over. So, again, big takeaway right here. Number 1, if you are starting a league, it is vital that you set the right culture. You don't do that, you're in trouble. Guaranteed. Without a doubt. And setting the right culture and making sure that everyone is on the same page with your culture doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenges. But here's the key difference. You at least have a protocol and a best practice on how to deal with those challenges. So when they arise, it's not this atomic nuclear explosion of emotion. Okay? And even if it is, you have systems in place. Okay? Incident reports that you need to fill out so you don't get sued later. That's another video. Okay, number 2, for the parents, for the refs, for the coaches, for the players, we're all imperfect. We're all sinful people. We all make mistakes. Look at the only perfect person in this world was Jesus Christ, and he ain't your official. So we're going to get some things wrong at times, okay? The coaches are not going to play your kid as much as they should. Now, that's a different thing, right? Like, sometimes coaches just play other players more, when everybody should be getting fair, equal play time in a rec league, right? Also depends on how much your kid is coming to practice, how much effort, all that stuff. But you got to look at the whole dynamic of the program. That's a different thing. So number 2, we are sinful, imperfect people who make mistakes. We all agree with that for the most part, okay? No matter what your theological framework is or lack of, we make mistakes. That's part of the human experience. So a little bit of grace is, or should be, warranted. Okay, number 2. Now, number 3. Now, what if this does happen? Okay? It sucks. It's uncomfortable, and emotions are high. I think there needs to be some type of reconciliation and some types of meeting to determine whether or not, this person should come back or this person should continue, or, whatever it is that your standards are. Again, if you don't have standards, you're in trouble. But if you do have some standards, some loose standards, you got to kind of figure that out. But there should be some kind of reconciliation between the officials and the parents, if you can do that, especially the one that he threw out. Because you don't want that tension for the remaining of the season. Just imagine if this was the first week of games. Now, every time you see this dude, you're like, yeah, that dude threw me out. I can't stand him. Bro, that's not what you want. Let me tell you what you want. You want an environment where parents are supporting you. Hey, good call, ref. It's your call. That's what you saw. That's what you want. Okay? You want an environment where Parents are supporting their players. Hey, parents, you did a fantastic job. We appreciate your support, not just supporting your kid, but supporting all the kids and the entire program, plus the officials. That's what you want. That's where we have a harmonious thing. And then we could deal with the challenges and the conflicts that come up. You know what I mean? That becomes a lot more simple when we have the right framework that we're operating by. If we don't have that, well, you saw what happens. So those are my 3 key takeaways for this. There's more to be said about the youth sports culture in America, and specifically these types of examples. And there's a lot, and we're going to be talking about that a lot on this page, is how to navigate the youth sports landscape. And so you don't go through things like this. And even if you do, because they do happen, even if you run a tight ship, how to deal with them appropriately. So if you like that video, go ahead, let me know down in the comments if this has happened to you and how you've dealt with it, because I want to know. I want to hear your stories. And if you really like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the Big Game Podcast. We're going to be launching a whole bunch of videos just like that, reacting, and not just reacting just to get the hype out of these videos, but also giving you action items to help you run a more efficient, positive sports league, program, club, training session, whatever it is, we're talking all about it. So I'm very excited to share all these things with you. All right, guys, girls, coaches, players, parents, refs, league directors, till the next time, I'll catch you soon.